Remember when you asked me the other day, it was weeks ago, it's a really good question, and I didn't have a good answer for you. And the question was, how do you learn how to win? And I answered it by saying, by winning.
Well, it's the chicken or the egg thing, right?
So
you have to learn how to win by winning.
Yes. And I think yesterday's an example of that. We could sit here and say to you all day long that if this was last year, they definitely would not have won that game. They would have found a way to lose the game.
Well, they lost. What I was going to say coming out of there was they lost that game to Green Bay. That was the Green Bay game. The Raiders didn't play well either, and the Bears were trying to find a way, and they were setting up for that field goal, and then that got blocked.
And that is just simply you learn how to win by winning. And it's really, I know it sounds silly and it sounds stupid, but think about what they did. And like you said, the Green Bay knew that there was something in the way that the Bears attempted field goals, the ball came low, that there was something that they could do schematically to try and make a play. What did you hear, from Hightower? Hightower said that there was something they saw with how the center snapped the football.
He would move the ball before the snap happened. Scott Daly, our long snapper, the Bears' long snapper, discovered that.
Yeah.
Kind of like tipping pitches.
Right. So the point I'm making is that that's not just by chance. That's because you've scouted your opponent. You saw something that you thought you could take advantage of, and then one of their players comes in and makes a play. I mean, so that's the difference between not executing and not really self-scouting and knowing last year against the Green Bay Packers that there was something that could be exploited. You did the opposite. You saw something that the Raiders did in special teams that you could exploit, and that's one of the keys to becoming a winning team.
Yeah, absolutely. So they had so many moments last year, the Indy game. Do you remember early in the year, the Indy game, that whole goal line situation, those two plays with Swift, how bad the offensive coordinator made them? Do you remember the Washington game? Not just the Hail Mary, the handoff to Kramer. Yeah. Then they came back after they fumbled it away. They came back down and they still scored to put them up. But then they couldn't finish on defense. The Green Bay game. There was that Minnesota game in there too. And then this year with the Minnesota game. They should have won the Minnesota game, allowing the 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. But here they were, and I think everyone should be happy. They are far, far, far from a great team. They have a lot of work to do. But they deserve credit for the grittiness of pulling out that road win.
And to describe why and how they need things to improve on. Look, they also scored that touchdown to give them the lead, right? But then defensively, you allow them on the kickoff return. I'll go back to you score the touchdown, but then you don't execute the 2-point play. Okay?
Yes, right. That was a bad play.
Did something really, really well, but we really couldn't totally top it off with a 2-point conversion, which would have given you a 3-point lead at the time. I believe the Raiders returned the kick to about the 40-yard line, but then you kind of hold them, and then you exploit the deficiency in their field goal attempt. So the point I'm making is I'm giving you several good things and still some things that have to be cleaned up.
The glass is half full because you won, and now you can get to work on this stuff. And then, the play that you didn't highlight either that was in the montage there with Jeff and Tom was that stop on 3rd and short.
Yeah.
That to stop Genty after you just heard Ben Johnson at the press conference say, we're not stopping the run either. We can't run the ball, and we're not stopping the run. For him to do what he did against them, but then in the critical moment of them looking to get closer for the field goal and pick up another first down and milk the clock because remember, even if he makes it, the Bears still have 30-some seconds left. And what would they have, 2 timeouts left?
I think so.
After that, they called their first on the timeout with Genty when he came up. So they would have had 2 timeouts still. And so, they deserve credit for making some plays. And I'll tell you this, Bears fans, the thing that I am least concerned about with Caleb Williams, we've talked a lot about playing on time. We talked about footwork. We talked about accuracy and all those things. Caleb Williams, in the year plus that he's been a Bear, has shown you that when they're trailing in the fourth quarter, he's got no problems coming from behind and putting them in a position to win. Just like we said, the Washington game, they were in position to win. He drove them after a not-so-good game to win. He did that again yesterday. He did that in the Green Bay game. He's done that multiple times in his young career. The one thing that I'm not concerned about with him is that clutch gene. He's got that. And now with Ben Johnson, I think it's only going to get better. So let's take some of your calls. And as Jack pointed out to us in the pre-show fist fight, we're talking about 2 wins in a row. We're talking about the getting ready for the Washington game, which is a big revenge game. And then as Jack pointed out, the Cubs are getting ready to play a playoff game. This is the first Chicago playoff game since when, Jack?
2022, when the Chicago Bulls were in the playoffs. Chicago Sky as well. But in the Big Four sports, Chicago has not had a playoff game in that long. Play-in game, which doesn't really count.
No, it doesn't.
Playoff game, no. I'm on cloud 9 right now.
3 years to not have a single, forget about a playoff win, to have a playoff game to get excited for. We have not had that in 3 long years. It's incredible. And the last time the Cubs were in the postseason is when no crowd was there in the COVID year. So, Wrigley has not seen that place rocking for a playoff game in a long time.
Well, nor has the 7th floor here seen the Cubby Chubby going as full circle as humanly possible. I mean, there's a lot of people in here that are feeling the love for tomorrow.
Well,
I agree.
You should, too. You got your team in.
I know. We backed in.
You know how that is. So here's the way it's going to go really quick, and then I'll take some calls. We are going to be airing your MLB playoffs. We are your home for the Major League Baseball playoffs. And with that, we are airing Cubs and Padres tomorrow. So you will be able to get to hear every pitch of Cubs and Padres tomorrow and for the rest of this series. So that will be on during our time slot. We will make up, it's going to be great to have them on. We won't be able to do our show on the air, but after Cubs and Padres, we will be doing what we did for a lot of these games. And, for instance, what we did for The Last Dance and Hard Knocks, where we do our own YouTube and Twitch show. So you're going to get additional online programming with us. Once the Cubs game ends, we'll have live post-game show on YouTube and Twitch with all of your favorites here from ESPN 1000. You guys know how close all of us are. We just spent all weekend with each other. All the people from all the shows will hop on. It's our YouTube channel. Follow that. Our page is youtube.com/@Waddle and Silvy. That thing is getting closer to 16,000 subscribers now. We appreciate the support. And Twitch, of course, twitch.tv/ESPN 1000 Chicago. So that will start tomorrow as soon as the Cubs game goes final. All right, let's take some of your calls. Let's go to Jim in Alsip. You're on ESPN 1000. Happy Victory Monday, Jim.
Hey, how you doing?
We're good.
Yeah, good. I like what you said about the winning attitude is the only way to get it is to win. I love the fact the Bears won, but I have to put my negative in it. The Raider defense was absolutely terrible, and the Bears still could not score. We're talking 4 times getting down there. Plus, we even intercepted 3 times, and we still cannot win as a team. And I think against any better defensive team, the Bears are going to really look very poor. Perfect example was the previous game, where they won, but if you notice the receivers, nobody in that defense against the Bears was within 15 feet, 20 feet. That's a terrible defense. And if you cannot, if you're only going to win when that happens, you are not going to win the long road. I have no qualms about the quarterback and picking that up. I think as a team, they are not playing. I think they're going to be a very weak team against any decent defensive team and any great offensive team.
Yeah, look, Jim, I get what you're saying. I think Waddle and I would be in agreement where we would say there aren't many teams that they would have ended up with a win than against the Raiders. Like, if they would have played but the good news is they did win that game, and now they have to be better against the opponents going forward. No one's lying about that.
We all know what the deficiencies are. Like, defensively, there's zero pass rush. Zero. Geno Smith threw 3 interceptions and wasn't pressured at all. 0 sacks, 1 quarterback hit. I think Carm said today there were 3 or 4 hurries. That's kind of, to me, is a weird stat because you could be hurrying a quarterback and he could dump it off to a running back and that guy could go for 12 yards, and that would have been his number 1 read to begin with. So you don't know what you're actually game planning for. So, I mean, sacks and quarterback hits are more important to me. You had 0 sacks and 1 quarterback hit. You gave up 240 rushing yards on 7.7 yards per carry. So the defensive deficiencies were masked and deodorized by the takeaways. But I think we all understand that they have some issues that need to be cleaned up over the course of this bye week.
They should have scored 20 points in that first half.
Yes.
They're like Cole Kmet, we know this. Cole's a great guy. He had a horrible game. As bad of a game as you can have as a football player. The drops and the important situations that he did make, that drop that would have been first and goal going in, and now all of a sudden things change there.
Rough day for Cole.
The false starts. What do you have? 2 false starts and 3 drops?
Yeah, and listen, his assignment in the blocking portion of his responsibility was difficult. You had Max Crosby to take care of, but that's what you're asked to do. These were their starting field where the drive started in the first half. On the their own 29, the Vegas 24, the Vegas 23, their own 23, the Vegas 24, your own 29. So 3 of your series, offensive series, started inside your opponent's 25-yard line.
You're in scoring position already. Yeah, and they did not score enough. So we know that, but we're very happy that they found a way to win, and hopefully they can build and improve on it. They got a long way to go, though. Jason in L.A., you're on ESPN 1000. What's up, Jason?
Hey, what's up, my guys? I have to disagree with that last caller. That was the true essence of a team win. The team is very mid as far as talent goes, but everybody kind of pitched in. From special teams, you had Cairo Santos hitting all the field goals. You had the blocked field goal. Then you had interceptions. You had horrible run defense, a horrible run game. Everybody pitched in. That was a team win. What I wanted to really call in on was the fact that Ben Johnson did not throw DeAndre Swift under the bus. DeAndre Swift is that bad. He is that bad. He's the Marcus Smart of the NFL, right? As soon as Marcus Smart left the Boston Celtics, they started to win. As soon as DeAndre Swift left the Detroit Lions, they won. As soon as he left the Philadelphia Eagles, they won. He ran behind the Philadelphia Eagles line and couldn't dominate with that line. And I've heard Waddle say this before. He's played. I have not played. Offensive linemen love when you run the ball. So why is it that we're saying, well, the offensive line isn't opening up holes, but they're kind of holding the fort for the pass rush? That's opposite of everything that we've been taught, that it's not just the O-line. This guy is not the guy as a bell cow back.
Well, I think we know that. Yeah, I think that's the obvious, Jason. Thanks for the call, though. I want